Welcome to the channel about unidentified flying object and an anomalous aerospace phenomenon scientifically. Every time you can hear complaints from some threads of a ufologist about a case to which he made considerable efforts, published many books or articles, gave interviews, gained popularity, but then this case, instead of alien ships that plow the expanses of the galaxy, received a completely banal explanation. Instead of a flawless ending, disappointment, that feeling that I spent so much time chasing a mirage or self-deception, and no matter how long the ufologist lives, how much he did not try learning more, he will never know more than now. This is the curse of ufologists, as the skeptic Philip Klass described. But what is the problem? Apparently, the root of the problem was laid at the very beginning, not at the time of Kenneth Arnold's observation of the spade objects that the yellow press dubbed flying saucers, and during the time of work within the framework of the Air Force Project Blue Book, which came to replace the project's sign and grudge. When the term UFO was formed, the original reads, unidentified flying objects, any airborne objects that, by aerodynamic characteristics or signs of unusualness, do not correspond to any of the currently known air transport or type of delusions, or which cannot be positively identified as a known object. Judging by the original terminology, they were looking for an unidentified spy intruder, but they drifted somewhere in the wrong place, to unknown technologies. As one joke says, we started for health, but ended for peace. The term, as always, was picked up by the yellow media, and the short-sighted source writes, the then analog of ufologists, writers, businessmen, and pranksters. Immediately, the term UFO in the broad masses began to be associated with sources of aliens. The resonance that the Air Force was doing something wrong reached the point that in 1969, the project had to be curtailed. Then, thanks to the efforts of Joseph Allen Hynek and Jack Valley, the term ufology gained unprecedented popularity and even reached the United Nations. It was Allen and Jack who proposed the classification according to the type of contact with UFOs, and Hynek has his own, and Valley has his own. This classification was the basis for the birth of the American school of UFO research called ufology. Although the attempt to sustain scientificity failed, it is not surprising to this day that American schools have a dominant position throughout the world. And starting from the 80s, ufologists began to experiment with terminology, so as not to be something related to the yellow press and aliens. Then the terms appeared: UAP, AAP, AO, DOP, LOIM, AKAF, etc. But under them, they saw the same essence of UFOs. The French model is rarely used outside the French-speaking community, but it has more advantages than disadvantages. You can achieve certain results and not be disappointed as typical ufologist. In this short video, I propose to apply the so-called Occam's razor, you should not involve new entities unless absolutely necessary, to the terms UFO, AAP, and ufology, and propose a couple of new ones. It follows that UFO is an unidentified flying object, any object located in the atmosphere or in outer space. Unidentified by a specific observer. That is, the term without any reference to unknown technology and aliens, because these new entities do not correspond to the name. AAP is an anomalous aerospace phenomenon, any phenomenon in the atmosphere or in outer space that could not be explained by manifestations of a known nature. Again, such without involving here various geometric shapes and the like. Ufology, the activity of collecting and analyzing information about UFOs, in other words, the accumulation of an array of primary messages, APM, and the classification of contacts with UFOs according to the American model of quasi-scientific subculture. UFO-identification is a process of careful analysis and classification of an array of primary messages, APM, according to their level of unusualness and information content into a working directory, WD. French model, disciplines at the intersection of meteorology, ecology, and psychology. AAP-study, the formation of a picture of little studied and undiscovered natural and man-made phenomena by supplementing the knowledge base about them. A mandatory parameter is anomaly factor. Ukrainian model, disciplines at the intersection of meteorology, ecology, and military affairs. Leave comments, this will help promote the channel. Thank you all for your attention. Subscribe and press the bell. Well, we will be back soon with a new video.